Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we will be crafting another D&D character from one of my players. This time, Voodoo King Igbar. I probably got the name wrong, sorry Josh. But I know his name's Igbar. Igbar is a half-elf voodoo priest. Or voodoo king, I don't remember which one. It was a homebrew thing that one of my players found on somewhere. And I overlooked it, and it looked pretty good. It was pretty good, like a very pretty good build for a voodoo kind of guy. A little slow, but like, you know, once you get up there, you can start doing all of that. Raising the dead is like you get hoodoo, and things you don't even know how to try. Yes, that's a reference. A very bad reference because I mucked it up. But funny enough, the paint scheme and some of the styling of Igbar was actually based on Dr. What's his name from Princess and the Frog. I can't remember his name right now, even though I just read it. Sorry. Not really. But anyway, that character was kind of inspiration for this. This was also one of the characters that came up during that drunken time where we were talking about playing a Cajun bluegrass band or some shit in a D&D game, and we came up with the characters on just randomly after a bit of drinking, or before a bit of drinking, I don't remember. If you remember from the other video, I've said this before, so I'm repeating myself. We're going to stop that. But this character was also one of the ones that came up, and I have to give a round of applause to the player who played it, Josh, because he did really good with voice. He stuck to his character pretty good, and his pact with the undead king is still intact because he gave his boss what he wanted, even though he almost died like twice. He was not rolling good for encounters. Like, he was doing some decent damage, but they were doing better damage, and he was very squishy. But he survived, and his character is thriving pretty good. They did take a beating from the last game, but they'll recover. But anyway, I hope you guys like this. Let's roll onto the table and show how Voodoo King Igbar came to be on the table. For Voodoo King Igbar, me and my buddy who designed it. He came up and we started looking through some of the hero clicks and horror clicks that I had in abundance of, and we came across this vampire enforcer, and it practically was basically the vampire enforcer front to back had the exact clothes and everything that he was basically envisioning, so that saved us a lot of time on the preparations. But he did want a top hat, so with the top hat in mind, I took this Mad Hatter hero click here, and I was going to use him as a merchant in a D&D game, so I didn't want to chop him up, so I used green stuff to make a mold. I used green stuff to make blue stuff to make a mold of his hat, and made it out of green stuff, so that way we could add it later. And after stripping the paint off it, it didn't quite come off as easily in some places on this horror click, but still came off good enough. Here you can see a picture of a Ralpartha skeleton and some side bag things. I believe they went to like a horse or something, but they were just small. They were older lead miniature type things, so they were smaller, so I could use them. I thought they were perfect for backpacks and side satchels. They're a little muddied on the detail, I guess, because of how old they are, but you know, I basically just made a mold of those, and as you can see here, I made there's the copy of the hat, the copy of the skeleton torso, and the Igbar's side satchel. The skeleton didn't come out quite as well, but so I just split it down the middle because it was a pretty big seam line, and ended up with enough to. These are for decorations for the base. This skeleton right here, that his legs are chopped off, he is actually from the Caesar Miniatures Undead set. I bought that a while back, and I've been using those as my skeletons from now on, but I have an abundance of them, so I thought, this is a special occasion. I think I'll salvage one of them for the cause of the situation. We basically just cut him off at the knees so he'll look like he's rising out of the ground. That'll come later. right here you see we had to slice off some of the top of the Igbar's head there. As you can see here, we didn't want to, since Igbar is a half-elf and his elven descent is of the drow type, I thought, like, you know, he would want to keep his hair pristine. You know, he seemed like kind of a very pretty boy kind of thing. So we I cut the top of his head off at like a slant, so that way his hat was kind of tilted back to reveal a little bit of his hair in the front. And then once that was there, we took the top hat and glued it to the top of his head in the right place, and it worked out pretty well. We added a base, which is the bottom half of the flat half of a HeroClix base, because with this horror click, he has a very wide stance, so he needs a very big. Oh, I'm sorry, never mind. The base is not from a HeroClix or a horror click. It's actually one of the like Nolzur's Marvelous Miniatures bases that you get abundance of. A lot of my friends don't use them, so they give me a few of them, and we used one for this, and I just covered it with hot glue to represent kind of like mud, and I glued these skeleton bits on there to look like the undead was rising. We also chopped off the sword to add some details on there later and make it more of a, we were going to go for a cane kind of thing, like a walking stick. Here are some more pictures of him close up. This time we have the his side satchel added. A few more pics around the base, close-ups, and here we have the we have his little like voodoo scepter added and the satchel bag strap added. After the all good from my buddy who designed it, we went outside and primed it, and it really came all together. It really looked like a voodoo guy, a necromancer, voodoo feller, all that good stuff. And here is the paint job so far, and as you can see by the colors, we really did take the color schemes from that fellow from Princess and the Frog. I don't know why I can't remember his name now, but after that I added a brown wash all over the. I added the brown wash on him to kind of tie it all together, because with this he kind of had a mixture of colors, but I think it brought it together really well. The skeletons came out great, his face paint was really good, and it just tied them all together. It looked really, really nice. Took off a little bit more of the sword handle to make it look more like a little like fancy walking cane handle instead of just a weird sword tip. And we tried to go for a very like witch doctor paint with his hands and face, and I think it came out well. That's pretty much the short version of how we brought Voodoo King Igbar into the swamps. Alright, everybody, that's how we made Igbar the Voodoo King. Once again, Josh, sorry if I got his name wrong. I don't remember his full name. This is what happens when you play D&D. Never DM and drink, because you will be questioning a lot of things that happen in that game. You'll be questioning the fact that the game even exists, but it does. It does. Anyway, but hope you guys liked it. We got more we got more coming down the line. If you have any suggestions for things that you want me to try crafting or sculpting, drawing, whatever, put it in the comments. Check out our Facebook page. Check out the Facebook page. It's up and running. Hit up our Redbubble. Like, subscribe, all that crap, because YouTube decides that, like, YouTube's decided to screw us over. But you've all heard this by now, so I'm not gonna beat a dead horse. Because then Igbar probably gonna show up and he'll raise it from the dead and start riding it in front of his army of the undead. All that crap, that was a bit cheesy, wasn't it? Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for all putting up with my banter. I'll see you in the next one.